At a certain stage in my life, I was in a relationship with someone that was extremely opposite to me. And I remember that a lot of people wondered about that relationship. Reason was, he was geeky, I was different. I was an unconventional creative person and he was geeky and very analytical. So we're very, very different. And a lot of people around then thought the main electricity behind the relationship was the opposites attract syndrome. We had great conversations, we had great social times together, but then there were many instances where I sat back and I realized that opposites do not really attract in reality. That in the concept of chemistry or science or physics, there may be a concept to it, but in reality, opposites do not attract. Because I realized that the things that kept us, the things that maintained our relationships were more similarities in interests, in ideas, in concepts, especially in goals, in achievements and in accomplishments. Whether it had happened or it was being visualized, we had a lot of similarities. But well, even though I thought it was just about similarities, I found out so quickly after we had a major issue that brought us to a point of literally separation. I found out that it wasn't even just about opposites attract or similarities to maintain, but the fact that there's an attraction stage, there's a maintaining stage, but the most important stage in a relationship is the sustaining stage. So the attraction stage, you get close to the person. A lot of people see the opposites attract, and probably they do in the beginning when it's all fun and games. But now when you start to be together, to live together, you need to find the things that maintain. But then ultimately, you need to find the things that sustain. So over the years, I began to understand through that breakup, through my coaching sessions, through my own marriage, that there were 3 ways to complete the cycle. Opposites attract, similarities maintain, and considerates sustain. When I talk about considerates sustain, a lot of people feel that you should only be considerate based on obligation. Consideration is not equal to obligation. The fact that you are considerate to someone doesn't mean that person must be obligated to be considerate to you. Actually, the word considerate is actually showing to someone that you understand even when you are not obligated to. A lot of people say, okay, I have to be considerate because that's my child. I have to be considerate because that's my boss. I have to be considerate because that's my partner. I have to be considerate because that's my husband or that's my lover. Actually, you have to be considerate anyway. You don't need to be obligated to be considerate. And I found that out that at that stage in our relationship, it was consideration that kept us what I call elasticated. And that happens in business. It has happened a lot of times in my business where I used to just focus on those who are obligated to me, maybe the team or the staff or the clients, or when it was marriage, it was because it was my husband, it was because my family. Only to find out that to engage the most fulfilling relationship, you must be considerate to the person's values, considerate to the person's principles, considerate to the person's actions, considerate to the person's thoughts in every stage and in every state. Meaning that whatever approach they use, you have to be considerate to. Whatever actions they take, you have to be considerate to. And the number one thing is that don't focus on how they are obligated to you. To keep anything elastic, moving back and forth, which is every relationship. There would be contractions, expansions, up and down, but to keep it elasticated, meaning that it always bounces back. Don't just focus on opposites attract. Don't just focus on similarities to sustain, but please focus on considerations and not obligations.